Doing an update of the RM500. I'm working on the swing arm. And this is the only part that is keeping me from having a rolling chassis now. Can't remember what the last update was, but I've got the frame with the front end rebuilt, front tire obviously. The wheel is installed. That's my shock that's rebuilt, ready to go on. And that is the rear wheel, all ready to go. That's the sprocket that came with the bike. If you'll remember how bad it looked, I just sat down with the wire wheel and cleaned it up. I'm going to try to reuse it. Anyway, this swing arm, when I took it off, it was super loose. And the only pieces that were in this entire swing arm, everything in here and here, was sitting right here. I've got these two collars, this broken part, and then the bolt. This bolt ran through everything. That was it. That was all that was in there. This thing was just beating around back and forth. So I looked up on the OEM part schematic to see what it was missing. And this is a really bad picture, but you can see that is a ton of hardware on each side. And all I had was those three pieces. So over here is all the stuff that it was missing. Now these I bought new. I probably could have used the old ones, but considering how bad this was, I wasn't even sure if that was the right stuff. So I got two of these, two of these, two of these, 4 seals, 2 of these caps, and 2 needle bearings. And this cap is already assembled. It's actually got 2 other pieces in there. I think it's these 2. Yeah, there you go. And then that fits inside this little cap that has a seal inside. So the whole thing kind of just jams in there. And these are the parts that go on the inside. So, all that stuff, $130, which just kind of is a pain in the butt. You wouldn't expect. I mean, yeah, maybe it needs some needle bearings or some seals, but $130 of missing hardware. Like, I would just like to know who was the rocket scientist that was riding with just this stuff. And I don't know if that was the reason, but I noticed right here there had been a failure on, this is the sprocket side. Yeah. So you can see where somebody had already welded and repaired. And then I used MAP gas in some of these little, what are they? These things. These old aluminum welding rods with MAP gas. I actually had really good luck with that. But there's just too much metal here. I couldn't get the temperature hot enough. I actually did lay some of that in right here over the crack, and then I tried to grind it smooth, but I don't like how any of it is sitting in there. So I've got a spool gun for this Lincoln MIG welder over here. And the thing I don't like with the spool gun is it's just going to blast this thing with heat. I mean, it's going to be the opposite of using that little MAP gas and little aluminum sticks. So inside, I V'd out a little section where the crack was, so at least I know where the crack was. It's basically where this little spot is. And you could see it clear as day. There was a remnant of an old race in there from one of the bearings. And as I was getting it hammered out, I ended up re-cracking this. So I'm going to have to sit down and do a little repair job on that. Now, personally, I think you could probably ride this as is. I mean, even if that cracks, the thing's not going to go anywhere. You know, the bearings already checked. They fit in there pretty tight. The bore is decent. You know, decent enough. It's not perfect, but you know, when you've got the bolt in there, you've got the right collars in there. This stuff all kind of locks together. And even if this cracks, it's not like your swing arm is just going to eject. In fact, I don't think you would ever know if it was cracked. But I just, if it wasn't a 500 cc two-stroke, I would probably just go with it as is. But I think I'm going to have to sit down with the MIG and try for a little bit better. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to try to clean this side up and get all my parts pressed in there. And then I can get the swing arm on and, well, clean the swing arm up. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it because this is an anodized finish. So it's just going to be a nightmare trying to get all of this anodizing off. I may just have to live with some of the scabby stuff on here. I mean, this is definitely one of those items that falls in the department of don't get it perfect, just get it done. You know, if that's the worst part of the bike, I think life will be good. So that's the update for now, and I'll catch you later. Peace.